Welcome back. You're listening to the Mario Mukwanta Show on Salam Media. It is 8 minutes past 12, and it's time for our hit list. On today's hit list, I'm going to be chatting to Saray Khumalo, who is the first Black woman to summit Mount Everest. She's also a motivational speaker, a mother, and a businesswoman, and she will be launching the cyclothon to promote digital literacy, which I'm going to be chatting to her about as well. But for now, let us find out more about her journey and being the first Black woman to summit Mount Everest. Hi, Sarai.
Hello, how are you doing? It's first Black African woman to summit Mount Everest. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for making the time to join us as well. All right. So, tell us about your journey. How did it begin? I mean, you were raised by a single mother, and you were one of seven girls, and you grew up in KZN with your sisters and in a not so supportive neighborhood. Tell us more about that.
I actually grew up in Lusaka, Zambia. That's where I was born. Yes, one of seven. It was interesting. I was the tomboy of the lot. Grew up as part of the Pathfinder Club in church. My grandparents were missionaries. And I guess that's where I picked up one of the things that my grandfather emphasized on is a life that is lived not of service is a life wasted. So that's where I picked up you really giving back. And from there, I found myself on Kilimanjaro in 2012, and we used the climb to raise money for a home in Benoni, where we built them an outdoor gym and gave them a library. And during the exchange, although the summit happened on the mountain, one of the kids asked me, "Do you really come from the township?" And I realized that, there is that self-disbelief that I also had as a young kid, watching all the superheroes and thinking, I can't do that, it's for other people. And I realized that I've got a chance to show my children and that child that it doesn't matter what we look like, where we come from, we too can step on top of the world. And that's where the journey really began.
All right. And how did you get into mountain climbing, and where?
Yeah.
What was the first summit you did?
That was Kilimanjaro was the first one. And then I found myself on Everest in 2014 after training in France. And in 2014, 16 Sherpas died on the mountain and the mountain was closed. I went back in 2015. There was an earthquake. Went back in 2017. And at last in 2019, I managed to summit and make history. And it was just amazing and a God's blessing, quite frankly, because it's really beautiful up there.
So you only made history in 2019, and you
Correct.
actually went there the first time in 2014. So what
Yeah.
happened the first time that you didn't finish, that you
Yeah.
didn't make it?
Yes, the first time on the third day while I was at Everest Base Camp, there was a big avalanche that killed 16 Sherpas, and the mountain was closed by the government, and they asked all climbers to go back home. And 2015, when I went back, there was an earthquake that killed over 9,000 people in Nepal and about 22 at Everest Base Camp. And once again, the mountain was closed. I couldn't go back in 2016 because a lot of these climbs I was funding myself. So I was trying to save up. And 2017, I went back, and unfortunately, 99 meters from the top, I couldn't make it. It was too windy. When we were coming down, I lost consciousness. And once again, I didn't make it. So 2019, I managed. And quite frankly, I think, everything happens for a reason. I think 2019 was not a success in isolation of the attempt in 2014, 15, and 17. It was God's time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And speaking about mountain summiting, and how
Yeah.
long does it take to prepare for a summit like with Everest, and what
Yeah.
goes on in the preparation process? And,
Yeah.
where do you have to be physically and mentally?
Wow, a lot. I think knowing what I know today, I think an average about 3 years, depending on your fitness level when you start. There's mental preparation as well as physical preparation, which are quite linked. I always say 30% physical, 70% mental. But the reality is when you're physically fit, the mental side of it, you get a lot more confidence, you're a lot more clear in terms of decisions that you need to make. And and also choosing the right partners on your way to the top. The right mindset is really what is required. So for me, I train normally 6 months before the summit in the morning and in the afternoon as well. I try and train at least 6 days of the 7 days. And it's really a lot of cardio, a lot of strength training, but also technical training, because when you climb, you start using crampons, and we don't come from the cold and the ice. You need to be able to acclimatize to all that. But more important is just to have fun. It's something that I love doing. And like other people, maybe like soccer or other different types of sports.
So do you actually also have to sit in a cold room just to acclimatize and get used to the temperature?
I haven't been able to do that, but I met some Greek climbers that spent a night in a cold room a couple of times to be able to, to be accustomed to it. But what I have done, though, is I've got a hypoxical tent that I've slept in for a couple of times. It reduces the level of oxygen that you are inhaling and exhaling, and that allows you to almost survive with reduced oxygen, which is emulating you on Everest at Camp 3 and beyond. So that I've done, which is quite extreme, but useful. It doesn't help you in isolation. I think you need to do a little bit of everything,
I mean, it sounds so intense, but now when you reach the top of the mountain, whether it's Kilimanjaro or Everest or any other, what is it like up there?
Oh, wow. What you've seen up there, the people in the valley would never see, and they would never know. And it doesn't go away from you. You reflect on it every day. More specifically with Everest, my mother always used to tell us that the sky is the limit,
Yes.
And I got there and the clouds were beneath me. The sky isn't the limit. I think we need to encourage each other and the next generation to aim a lot higher, because we can, because the clouds were really beneath me and not what I could see. So we can achieve as humans more than we can ever imagine.
All right. Saray, please stay on the line with us. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back.
Thank you.
They're giving you the chance to make sure that 100% of your zakat is going to help people who are in desperate need. So this year, give 100% of your zakat to poor and needy people with Penny Appeal, and reap the rewards of fulfilling this beautiful pillar of Islam. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Dad, well, I've been chatting with an investment broker today and...
Broker? Did the broker tell you that our economy is a mess? There's bushfires in Australia, America wanted World War III, and now the coronavirus is traveling around the world.
Well, I also thought about purchasing some crypto.
Crypto? What's that, like another pyramid scheme? I don't trust what I can't see.
There's an apartment in Belito.
So only a family will be asking to stay there for free. And what if the government takes it away, eh?
Dad, I don't think it works like that.
I'll tell you what works. Gold. At your age, I invested in gold coins and it paid for your university fees and your wedding. No contracts, no agreements. Your investment is in your hands and you own it. With a 70% growth in only 5 years, do you still doubt gold investment? Contact RJ Coin today, 031-202-4701, or visit them at 151 Stephen Dlamini Road in Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
Spread the sunshine and make mealtimes sunshine delicious. Sunshine D, the versatile margarine and fat spread that is perfect for spreading, baking, and cooking. Need inspiration? Visit nowwecooking.co.za.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Mare Mukwanda Show on Salam Media. And on today's hit list, I'm chatting to Saray Khumalo, who is the first Black African woman to summit Mount Everest, and sharing her journey with us, and how she started and climbing mountains, and she managed to summit Mount Everest for the third time in 2019 and reached to the top. Sarai, thank you for staying on the line with me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and I appreciate the platform.
Now, tell us about the Seven Summits Explorer Grand Slam. I believe that Mount Everest is a part of that venture. Tell us more about it, and where else are you going to be climbing or summiting?
Yeah, so the Explorer Grand Slam is really a challenge to summit the highest peaks on the 7 continents around the world, going to the North Pole and the South Pole. And there are only 67 people in the world that have done this. And I've partnered with Momentum Multiply to actually be able to complete this, which is really a privilege. And in December, I became the first African woman to actually get to the South Pole as well through this journey. But what is interesting is with all my climbs since 2012, I've been using them to raise money for education. And I've built 5 libraries, and we actually have an event where we actually were hoping to build digital libraries in the 9 provinces around South Africa.
Yes, tell us about that event. It is a cyclothon to promote digital literacy. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so it's a cyclothon. We are planning to actually break the Guinness Book of Records, which is currently held in the UK. My friend and I were like, we need to bring it home and make sure we raise about R1 million. We are going to spin for 8 hours, and we are inviting the public, your viewers included, to come and join us, and they'll contribute 25,000 Rand for every bike. If you want to challenge us, come and spin with us for 8 hours continuously. If you don't want to spin with us, come buy a bicycle, come with 3 of your friends, the 4 of you, each spin for 2 hours each. And that will go towards building a digital library with iSchool Africa and Momentum. And if you are a company, iSchool Africa is offering a Section 18A certificate, and you also can come and brand and get an opportunity to participate and get a certificate as a participant in the Guinness World Record. I think it's time to, shake off the lockdowns and COVID and just really make a difference so that no child is left behind.
And start training again since we've been too comfortable.
Absolutely.
All right. So when and where will it be taking place?
So we've partnered with Planet Fitness. It will take place in 4 Planet Fitnesses, one in Johannesburg, one in Pretoria, one in Cape Town, and one in Durban. What is interesting about the one in Durban is we actually are involving kids from special needs school that are going to also be beneficiaries of one of the libraries. And people that want to participate can choose any one of these venues to get involved for only 25,000 Rand per bicycle.
All right. Now, looking back at your childhood and how you grew up, or where you grew up, leading up to the point where you are now, having summited Mount Everest and all the other things that you have achieved and accomplished, what are you most proud of, and how did your childhood contribute to where you are now?
I think I'm most proud of my upbringing, amazing mother, grandmother, and grandparents, so to speak, and also teaching me that I can be what I want to be and not let my environment dictate who I am. But more importantly is to be God-fearing, and also realizing that, yes, we are born and yes, we'll die, but the time that we'll move the dial and make a difference is the time in between. And also the spirit of Ubuntu, I am because you are. Taking people along the way. Lastly, which is why I'm passionate about education, the one thing that they invested in me, which is really teaching me how to fish and not giving me fish, is education. And that's why I would like to use that to be able to contribute in changing the narrative for the next generation of Africans.
All right. We have a game that we play. It's called Quick Fire. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you need to answer them as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. If you were the president, who would be your deputy?
Wow, Cindy Van Veek.
All right. As the president, what would your top priority be?
Education.
If you had a superpower, what would that superpower be?
Wow. The power to remove corruption, I suppose.
Well, most people just choose invisibility.
I almost went with that, but it's an obvious choice.
Yeah. What is your favorite quote?
It always seems impossible until it's done.
And name 3 people or organizations that we can follow on social media.
Well, the iSchool Africa, Summits with a Purpose, which is my initiative that makes a difference, and the Mandela Libraries project.
All right. And Sarai, that was the quick fire. Thank you for participating. You answered all of them. So that was awesome. Now, lastly, what advice would you like to give to our viewers and listeners out there?
I think apart from me pleading with you to come and join us and spin with us and let's make a difference, I want everybody to know, which I've discovered, that we are extraordinary. You are extraordinary. And being ordinary is a choice. You too can step on top of the clouds. So go out there and be yourself.
Thank you so much for your time and for the lovely chat. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Saray Khumalo, the first Black African woman to summit Mount Everest, just taking us through her journey, how she started with the summits and where she will be going. And that is the 7 Summits Explorer Grand Slam. That is where she is heading. But before she heads there, on the 25th of October, there is an event. It is the Cyclothon. It's such a tongue twister. The Cycleathon Challenge, hosted by Saray Khumalo and supported by Momentum Multiply. It will be taking place at Planet Fitness gyms in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, and Cape Town. And basically, it is to promote digital literacy. The digital divide is rapidly becoming one of the most entrenched measures of inequality worldwide. And Saray Khumalo is not having any of that. Uh, the award-winning mountaineer, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker is also passionate about libraries, and she has built libraries around South Africa. She's going to be taking on a big challenge to further digital literacy in South Africa. She'll be hosting an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the most money raised in an 8-hour static cycling event, which currently stands at 686,000 Rand. Always want to aim high, she's set her sights on raising 1 million Rand to fund a digital library in a rural township school in each of South Africa's 9 provinces. The libraries will be installed and managed by iSchool Africa, a groundbreaking initiative endorsed by Springbok captain Siya Kolisi, and each will consist of a mobile iPad lab supported by curriculum-based apps, training modules, dedicated program facilitators, and mentors. The cycleathon will also give a corporate, sports, and individual teams a chance to have some fun together for the first time since the lockdown began. And I'm sure most of you are super excited about getting back into these type of things, challenges, cyclothons, triathlons, and whatever other thons there are. The cyclothon, which will adhere to all mandatory COVID-19 protocols, will bring together 40 teams of brave folk will cycle continuously for the duration of the event. Avid cyclists, corporates, and socially committed individuals are invited to participate by sponsoring a bike at the cost of 25,000 Rand, seizing the opportunity to cycle into the history books and make an invaluable contribution to digital literacy in South Africa. So 25 October is the day, and at Planet Fitness gyms in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, and Cape Town. You are listening to the Mari Mokwanda Show on Salam Media. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. Alternatively, you can leave them in the comment section. We are live on Facebook right now. We will be right back.